It's Monday night. It's 8 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's time to start your week off right here on Nerd Initiative. That's right. It's Play for Keeps, the show. Tonight's topic, toys to life. Mickey?
Yes.
Play the intro.
Happy to do so.
What is going on, everybody? Hope you had a fantastic week. Welcome back to Nerd Initiative. As you most of you know, my name is Off the Cuff Tom, the pop culture connoisseur. And with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the other nouns that I could possibly put in there, but might not be appropriate because we are a kid-friendly network. It's Mickey CWK Smith. Mickey, thank you so very much.
Hey, thanks for that wonderful introduction. As always, yeah, a lot going on at the beginning of this year, so I'm ready to talk about something to get my mind off of all the tragedy and
yes,
and
with
stress.
everything else that's going on in the world, we want you guys to be. We want to be a safe space, a wonderful harbor, just for you to get your nerddom out and get your geek on. First and foremost, we want to send all as much thoughts, prayers, blessings, concerns and everything to everybody that's being affected by the LA wildfires right now. We do have some links up there over Mickey's head. So if you want to, you can always, donate to LA Food Bank. We're going to have a few more popping up here throughout the show. But, we wanted to make sure that we shine some facts on here. And again, if you are able to donate, please do so. If you're not, you know what, even if it's just sending out the vibes into the world, that's how I always look at it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So before anybody says anything, okay, I'm going to reiterate this probably 100 times tonight. What about Skylanders? Dude, I have so many Skylanders. This is going to be its own show. It might even be a two-parter. Why? Because I'm a freaking expert at it. Do not start with me.
Let's go. I like it.
Okay?
Denied.
What we are going to do... What we are going to do is we're going to talk tonight about Lego Dimensions and Amiibo specifically. I do have some other figures up here. This is something that is totally in my wheelhouse, and trust me, we want to see you guys in the chat. Hello, Kat. How are we doing this evening? And any of our friends from the Nerd Initiative Bullpen, we did ask you guys a question in the bullpen, and there are little nods to you in our show tonight, just because, we want the interaction.
Yeah.
All right. But what's more interaction is making sure that we follow everything that we missed this past week. So, Mickey, I think we're starting off with some nerd, geeky, and toy news.
There we go. You got it.
This just in. I found my pants.
This just in.
Yes, this just in. So we've got some toy news this week. So let's just take it away. What did we get out this week? A Police Story SH Figure Arts Officer Chan Kai-Kyu from action figure. This is a Jackie Chan figure art. This is the first one that I know of, and I'll tell you, to be quite honest, I love figure arts. Everybody kind of knows that, but to see one is as good as this. Like, if you're a Hong Kong martial art fan, if you're a movie fan, if you're a Jackie Chan fan, just look at that. There's no pegs. There's no, it's good. It's all good. I mean, it has shoelaces. They're probably not soft goods, but it has shoelaces. What figure art do you have that has shoelaces? Enough said.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Dude, iconic movie, right? Iconic movie star, Jackie Chan. Really cool to just have a head sculpt of him would be awesome. I guess to play devil's advocate here,
please.
I am curious as to exactly how much articulation would be possible in this jumpsuit. And there's a lot of creases, right, where the joints are, where the cuts are.
As figure arts do have.
Yeah, very, very, very visible, and they just kind of stick out on the jumpsuit. But again, this is like a first time, like you said. I mean, they've never made an action figure from the Police Story that I know of anyway,
Hmm.
or of Jackie Chan, like you said. So it's kind of like yeah, a want or a need.
Now, I'm not sure. Based on this, it looks like that the hair is its own. So this might do like the Hasbro figures that they swap out the faces
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
I do not. I do. I have. Trying to think with my figure arts. I don't
Um,
really have anybody that has interchangeable heads.
all of
So,
the Dragon Ball characters, their faces pop off. You take their hair off, pop the head off, put the hair back on. So I've got
that's why
quite a
you
few.
could. They're interchangeable. You take
Yeah.
any Dragon Ball person and you switch the hair, and it's a completely new person.
Hmm.
Because we only know how to draw one figure.
So that's our first figure up for pre-order right now on Big Bad Toy Store and the other outlets as well. But also Mega Man
Do
fans.
you know this? That's actually my alarm. Wily Castle 2 is my alarm.
That's awesome.
It's a good one, man. You used to play that bad boy as 8-bit. Yeah, it's really good. Also, the version by the Megas, the Mega Man cover band, very good as well. So from 3-0, a lot of folks who are in my general communities know them for doing the fantastic 1/6 scale Power Ranger figures with the soft goods and the really detailed weapons. This is all solid plastic. This is the metal blade version from Mega Man 2 specifically. Uh, Absolutely. I mean, one, we all know that the metal blade was probably the most OP weapon that you got in all Mega Mandom.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's the second game, and like, hey, let's give you an omnidirectional weapon. Awesome.
Mm,
Let's put it in one of the hardest levels there was. Sure.
yeah.
And let's not just make it a hard level, but we're even gonna put a track that moves back and forth at the bad guy's whim in the boss battle. Because why not? So
uh,
you earn this one. I don't know how I feel about the extra head sculpts between the grinning one and the yelling one, but I'll go with it. I think the big thing for me would be posing this figure. How do you get an action pose without having to get a second, clear standout? So you could do the
yeah.
which
Yeah.
that's the technical term right there. The weapon tank there, I don't remember there being a weapon tank. So I'm wondering what exactly that little tank is supposed to be. It's
I don't know.
because weapon tank wasn't introduced till 4 or 5.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, I know
Um,
so.
uh, so these MDLX 30s are pretty cool. These are like $40, I believe, retail. If you are looking for something cheaper, I collect the Jaded Toys versions, which are
Yes.
$20. They look phenomenal. I'm sure they don't have as many accessories and they're not going to be as posable probably, but really good for $20. They're really good. I've got Mega Man, Fireman, Iceman, and I've got Cutman. I can't remember the other two on pre-order. Actually, I think
Sounds like you've got all the Mega Man 1 figures.
yeah, they are the first series from the first.
So Gutsman, Bombman, Fireman, Electman.
Yeah, and those
Um,
are in my pile of loot, I think, right now. I just haven't had them shipped out to me yet. So there is an
Wonderful.
alternative of say like $40. I can't do that. Well, $20 you can just downscale a little bit. Still fantastic, awesome packaging too. Like the whole 9 yards.
And anybody can ask Mickey and attest to. I am usually, when it comes to our review figures, the big price tag.
That's true most of the
Oh, Dad, I want that one.
time. So yeah, Mega Man fans, let's go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is 3-0's first figure that they're putting out. Like that, I didn't look into it, but I
No,
might
they've done more.
actually.
They've done
They
more.
have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They've done a few more.
I'm definitely have to look up and get something on my shelf.
Yeah, yeah. For me, SH Figuart Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in his mini little kid form from Dragon Ball Daima recently released. The Goku and Vegeta figures already released right now. Rave reviews. Like people are just like, especially the Vegeta. People love him. I don't know if it's because he's cute and tiny or what. He looks when I see people playing with him, I was like, man, I'm gonna end up having to order this, even though I had no plans on doing it. But then I saw this, like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. That's a first, right? He's never done this before. This is something new that everyone wanted to happen once upon a time and never did. Kind of skipped over it. It was unique to just Goku. But now in Daima, I guess the most recent episode, he's going Super Saiyan 3, and they've released kind of like a variant with, you know, this hairstyle, basically.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how much Super Saiyan are we gonna get, like, hair wise? Because Goku gets the whole loving
I
locks.
know, I know.
Maybe because he's short, he doesn't get the whole big, mane
It's
of
the
golden hair.
it's that hardcore widow's peak and balding early male pattern baldness is kind of getting them there, I think, is what the big deal is. it
Maybe.
it's really long, and they always lose the eyebrows. They kind of go to like caveman mode in Super
Mhm.
Saiyan 3. But I like the way this thing poses. Like I was again playing around looking at it. You can only get this right now on Bandai's site. Like it's not anywhere else. It's exclusive to
Right.
them, as far as I know. It's the only place I can find it, and it's uh, these are little figures, and this thing is $60, and I'm like, I don't know, man, because the other ones are 35, like the small Goku and Vegeta they've already released. 35, not bad, but 60, I'm like, man.
Well, how many accessories does it come with?
Well, I'll show you.
Aha.
So you probably get a lot more stuff, and you get an alternate Goku face, which I'm like, okay, I guess.
Well, and I'm assuming they got that alternate Goku face just because there might have been some call for it from that we didn't get from other figures, or
Probably.
they're using that as your breadcrumb so they can sell other figures.
Exactly. Like, hey, you got the Goku face, might as well get the Goku, right?
The famous crossed arms. Now, if I can, so speaking of figure arts, so I do have a figure art that has crossed arms. It is
Okay.
a very common trait that these will now, obviously, with the smaller arms, they're doing it from the shoulder joints. Typically, they'll do it from the bicep and pop out, so you can do like this.
Mhm.
If anybody knows your Super Sentai, I'd love to see down in the chat which figure I'm talking about.
Ooh, that would be really cool. Somebody could come up with that.
Hmm. I'll make it even easier. It's a Red Ranger.
Oh,
Which one is famous for crossing his arms?
I don't remember. All
Can't
right,
tell you. Can't tell you.
chat. Let us know. Let's shock and awe Tom with your Power Rangers knowledge.
And I like the fact it does come with the stand, so that's a little
Yeah,
bit that they're trying to tack on with it.
you get some extras, and it's I guess because it's such a popular new thing, a first time ever kind of thing. I guess they can charge a little more.
And it looks like that the smaller handsets, which are in the second row to the top, closer to the face,
Yeah,
does have a peg in there for the toy effect
right.
or for the particle
The
effect.
the Gallic gun coming at you. So wrapping up there, when I was thinking about news, I was like, we need some good news, not just toy news, but something like to lift our spirits with everything that's happening, right?
Of
So
course.
came across this little news story. It was a little puff piece, but it made me a little emotional. I kind of teared up a little bit. This little kid, this is from BBC, their website, their news website. There was a few different stories of things people had found that was important to them when they went back to the rubble, or whatever we want to call it, debris from the LA wildfires. And this little kid, Henry Giles, 6 years old, or Giles, 6 years old, when he came home, he had hidden his toy lawnmower, and he's got one of those little McDonald's Halloween buckets, which is adorable because I loved those when I was a kid too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something else, I can't tell what it is in his hand, but he had hidden them in his bushes so they wouldn't get burned, and they're still there. And
Aww.
that made me feel so good because I know they lost everything super important, right? Like their cars, their home, probably their whatever they have, photos, computers, everything, clothes. But just this kid who like stashed his stuff away because it was really important to him, obviously, and it's still there. That was just like heartwarming to me, and I was like super happy about that. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. Like, look at this kid. Mommy, look, they survived. We hid them in the bushes because we knew there would be a fire. How awesome would that be as a kid? I know the world is smaller to you. You don't think about the big picture things, the very like adult things. But just, I hit them. They're still there. This is awesome. Good day for me.
Aww. Everybody, just a 1, 2, 3.
Aww. So yeah, and speaking on that though, as we've already stated, please consider donating to the American Red Cross, and we have a QR code up top for the LA Food Bank. Yeah, it's terrible, and I have some friends lived out there, and not all of them like lost a lot of stuff, but still, it's just their home is destroyed basically. So sucks.
Yeah, if anybody, if you get a chance, again, make sure that if you are able to donate, or, please do. However, whatever way you can, whether it's through our QR codes, whether it's through any particular site that you prefer. Even if you're in the LA area, even just going to your local fire department. I know a lot of fire departments are also taking in non-perishable food and whatnot. I have a few friends of mine out there, actors, who have been trying to help out as much as they can as well. So again, just be a decent human and try and help out everybody else.
Heck yeah, man. It's hard out here. Hard out for everybody right now.
That it is.
I guess we should get to the reason why we're here, huh?
Yeah!
Toys to life.
All right. Now, specifically, we are counting about these genre video games that use in real life figures, specifically with NFC chips, to enhance or modify the gameplay experience. Now, I'm going to actually drop this down real quick because, again, I literally look. I'm not kidding. I'm stealing the show here for a second, Mickey. You play with your DVD all you want, but I'm stealing the scene. So
go for it.
All right, so I got a lot of my figures set up here tonight for everybody to see. I have some of Lego Dimensions figures over here, Series 1 and Series 2, and the general collection of Amiibo that I have here. Yes, I have 2 of what I will still say I was the person that coined the term Sky Amiibos. All right, I don't care. I said it. I believe I said it first. I have recorded it on the internet. It's a thing. Get in your Wayback Machine. It's my term, damn it. Anyway, so I have some figures out here. We're going to talk about some figures. We're going to talk about everything that is involved with, the Toys to Life experience. It was a great thing. I enjoyed it. I mean, as far as being a completionist and collector, that was the fun part of it.
Yeah, there you go.
And since Kat, who I figured might have been the only person to know the answer to that, it was Captain Marvelous of Kaizo Sentai Gokaiger.
I was that close. I was close. I was close.
Yeah, sure you were. Okay. So we're going to start off tonight. We're going to be talking about just the general history of these Toys to Life. Now, believe it or not, Mattel came out with the first series back in 2007 called UB Funkies, and then followed up by FAMPS in 2009. Of course, typical Mattel, UB Funkies was more of the boy side, and FAMPS was the girl side of the toys. It's
okay.
He-Man and She-Ra.
Yeah.
Once again, Skylanders. That's another show because I said so.
Don't be bringing Skylanders in that chat now.
No, you want to bring Skylanders? I'm down for talking Skylanders. Do not get me wrong, but if I do Skylanders, I'm going to do it right. It's going to get its whole episode. It's going to get dedicated to exactly which games. It's going to get dedicated to the cartoon. I got a whole thing planned for this one.
Okay.
Like Mickey can literally take a week off. People are also going to ask, well, what about Disney Infinity? Well, Disney Infinity ran through 3 different versions. 1.0 focused on the primarily Disney characters. There were a few other IP characters that were scattered in the first season. 2.0 focused primarily on MCU characters, again with a sprinkling of Disney characters sprinkled in. And then 3.0 was primarily your Star Wars figures, with a few, again, MCU and Disney characters sprinkled in. So, I think we didn't get Wreck-It Ralph till 3.0, and so on and so forth. I have, honest to goodness, 1 Disney Infinity figure in my house. I don't know where the hell it is.
Nowhere to be found.
But it is a special variant version. It's like the Game Boy version of Infinity Black Suit Spider-Man.
Okay, dude, that's awesome.
Yep. Also, around the same time, there was another game series called Hero Portal. It only did a 1-year run, and it used 4 different IPs: Ninja Turtles, How to Train Your Dragon, Power Rangers, and DC superheroes. And they really didn't go too far. They had a very like little small portal, and you could connect the little figures on. They weren't bad. Some of them were hyper designed.
Yeah.
Um, it it didn't hit my shelf, so it didn't matter to me.
uh, yeah.
Do you recall? Do you guys have any of these at home besides the Amiibos?
So no, Amiibos is kind of the only thing in this list or in this area of like collecting that we have. Um, I my son was just a baby when Disney Infinity was hot, so I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if he had been older, we probably would have been into it. Because basically whatever they're into, like I'm usually into. And as he got a little older, they were
Be
kind of
honest, you're a grown child. I got it.
yeah. So as my oldest son kind of got to an age where Infinity was starting to fizzle out, and he was interested in it, but we never got into it because I was like, it feels like a dying tech or game anyway. Um, Skylanders, he was very interested in. So, but it was the cartoon or animated show,
Yep.
and so I do know about Skylanders because I watched a couple seasons with him. We never really got into collecting the toy or the figures though for the games. Um, UB Funkies was new to me. I looked all these up when I saw your presentation here. I didn't remember UB Funkies at all. Hero Portal, I do remember, but mainly because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But that's about it. I never really
Mm-hmm.
bought any. Yeah. So as far as those go, and Starlink and Lightseekers, I had no idea what those were, but Starlink looked pretty cool. I'll let you talk more about it.
So Starlink was a game series that used this failed terribly. I mean, honestly, within months of it hitting the store shelves, it failed. So you had these great little. I mean, they're good
They look
looking. Like
they look awesome.
you know, what you probably don't know is
The characters in there, right?
there's characters in
Yeah.
there. So as you modified and collect these, I can't remember how to get these off. The pilot actually made a difference to what your extra abilities are. Not only that, you could swap out because each of these figures had their own NFC in it. So you could mix and match this, that, and the other thing. You could even completely change out the wings, the whole nine.
That's cool.
Yeah, the main body was the main body. The one big reason I got it was because there was a very special edition one because of merchandising and licensing. That if
Mhm.
you bought the Nintendo Switch starter, you got Star
Oh, yeah.
Fox. Okay, and Fox McCloud is inside here.
Nice.
They do all have transparent cockpits, so you can see inside. This actually still sits out on my shelf because it's
It's
just
dope.
freaking cool. I'll do a barrel roll,
It's
you know.
awesome.
And again, everything is interchangeable. I think one big problem that I had with this series was the controller, because not only was this the base that you put your things on, but it was also the controller.
Oh, no.
So I had to slot in. Pardon the dust,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. And like I said, it still sits out on my shelf. I didn't say in what condition. Um, you had to slot in your Joy Cons, and so you're playing with this already.
Oh, yeah, that's not
And
a good idea.
yeah, and as a casual gamer to try and who's used to playing with, like, the first thing I'll always do is go get the Pro controller for whatever system I have.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to Nintendo. And I don't even remember how to get this off of here, and I'm not even going to risk it. The only reason it's on here is so I can have these sit up and out and just,
Right.
and then do a barrel roll.
Uh,
Good old Slippy. But yeah, one other thing was these were mass produced, but excuse me.
Mhm. Bless
But
you.
getting sometimes the different accessories and switching them out, like there's level 1. Here you go. So I have a fire type weapon on here, and then if you wanted to try and find a level 2, like you had to buy like this ridiculous extra pack, and there you go. That one's a level 2
Yeah.
style weapon, and there was ice type, gravity type, fire type, so on and so forth. The gravity types were extremely hard to find. So as much as you could find them, you couldn't at the same time.
Right. So
You know?
this was it had a lot to do with asking people to do too much maybe, and, like, I'm sure this was getting close to the end of that phenomenon too with the
Yep.
toys to life, so
And I think this was even a variant of something else as well. Like they tried to give you the benefit of, oh, hey, you can get this one or that one or switch that out. I have one more up in my closet with extra accessories, but I figure just using the two is a good one. Light Seekers is still around today, as a matter of fact.
okay.
This was introduced in 2018. They do have the figures that have like light bases in them, as Light Seekers do, but they really have focused on the trading card game aspect that comes with it. Unlike Skylanders or Disney Infinity, where you're playing around getting the dungeon crawling, because that's pretty much all these games really were.
Mhm.
Disney Infinity was a little bit different, um, with the, hey, you're going to play a level in this universe and that's about it, and you might be able to bring in a character from one of the other things. That was also a big downside to Disney Infinity. Like, hey, I'm in Avengers Tower, I want to wreck it. Nope, you got to play as Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah.
So
Boo.
it was only in the toy box mode where you got the chance to really play. Now, speaking of toy box, after 3.0 and Disney Infinity was canceled, Disney did run a line of collectible figures from what's called their toy box series, where they use
Mhm.
the same designs, but they made them full 6-inch figures. So, like, you could get a Nova, Iron Man, Black Panther, anything that was, an in-house character. So that was really interesting, especially if you wanted that nice sleek design. Because I'll be honest, the Black Panther from that series looked so good.
Yeah, a lot of those characters did. I love the
Mm-hmm.
Venom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
prime example. So starting off, we're going to talk about Lego Dimensions coming in with clutch power. I forgot to put the little trademark on there because we are going to need a bigger imagination. I thought that was a great catchphrase.
Heck yeah.
And again, I got really ready for tonight's episode. Like, I pulled everything out of the closet. Like, I got the whole portal. I got the figures out. I was going through my bin of figures, of which I'm kind of annoyed right now that I have a bin of figures that aren't nice and neat and organized. I think I finally got fed up with it and just went, because I don't like my figures rubbing up against each other and losing paint.
Oh, yeah.
Like my Skylanders figures, we're going to reference them tonight, folks. Okay.
Oh.
Are all sitting in every single Christmas. I would get another 2 or 3 sets of Christmas tree ornament holders that you could put the little slats in.
Yeah.
And every single character is slotted in one of them so they don't even touch each other.
That's smart.
Because I have seen figures at like garage sales or secondhand stores or whatnot, just completely like, oh, Snake Eyes treatment. It's all one color now.
Yeah, that sucks.
But yeah, Lego Dimensions, from obviously TT Games. All right. This was a really big, innovative thing. Now, this was coming off the Skylanders, so Lego wanted to get into this. The best thing that they had is they had the money to get all these IPs. Like all the Lego games that you had out there. You had your Lego Star Wars, your Lego Harry Potter, Lego DC Superheroes. Awesome games, fantastic replayability. How do we bring these all together? We come in with Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, that was the really appealing thing about it, was all of these characters that you've never seen as a Lego minifigure before are now Lego
Mm-hmm.
minifigures.
So, like it says on here, the game itself featured figures from over 30 different franchises. This was the ultimate toy box mashup. And unlike a lot of the other games, this one, characters were interchangeable. Hey, you're in Metropolis? Screw it. I want Princess Lumpy Pancakes, or whatever the heck her name was, from Adventure Time to show up. Or, you're again in Metropolis, and then all of a sudden Scooby-Doo shows up, of which we all know that's probably happened in an episode of something at one point.
Yeah.
But completely interchangeable. And that's what really, really was the fun aspect of it. Now, when it came to selling these, they were sold in level, team, fun, and story packs. Now, there was the main game story itself, but anytime you picked up, say, a story packs like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, that particular storyline was completely separate of the game. It was its own thing in its own world. A level was exactly that. You'd get a single level. A team pack was always with 2 different characters and 1 accessory figure. And a fun pack was usually 1 figure and 1 accessory. There were a few different packs that might have had 2 and 2. Like I believe the Back to the Future set had both Marty, the Doc, the Time Train, and the DeLorean in it.
Score.
Or I bought that as 2. It was a really cool set. Another thing is that the year 1 and year 2 figures, which you can tell the difference because I've got them ready right here. Yeah, so that's what it was. So these were 2 fun packs because I have Doc Brown here. All right, this is a year 1 figure with a blue base.
Yeah.
And again, you can see the NFC chip in there. And then nope, that isn't Marty. But we're going to say that this is Marty, and I'm going to cover this up. This is another 80s character, but it wasn't Marty. Had a orange base on it. So that's what came in real handy and fun is you still knew how to differentiate them. And I'm still holding this backwards so you don't know who it is because I screwed up. All right. Or here, we'll grab some DC characters. Now, in your starter pack, you started off with Batman, coming off the Lego Batman game, and it was awesome. He totally rocked. Also, from other famous franchises, you had Wild Style from the Lego movie was also one of your starters. And then lastly, you had Gandalf the Grey.
Fantastic.
Okay. Which is a great idea simply for the fact that, characters each had different things that they brought to the table. And again, if you've played other Lego games, you know that certain characters had certain different abilities. So with Batman, Wild Style, and Gandalf, you could play the basic game. You're not going to unlock everything. You're not going to get through everything. But you had somebody that could do range attacks. With Wild Style, she had a little bit of a hacking ability because you can see her little accessory. And Gandalf could do magic, which was very important. Now you had other characters, let's say like from Series 2, Supergirl. If you take a look, she actually has red eyes. She does have a different type eyes, the double-faced head. But laser vision, she could melt gold Lego bricks like any other character could from any other Lego game. Clark, both of them could do freeze breath and that kind of stuff. Again, exclusive moves to exclusive characters. There really wasn't anything hard about getting certain characters. I do know that Supergirl and Green Arrow, you did have to go through a little bit extra stuff to get these. They were a smaller release, or they were, a right-in type of thing. So those were some of my favorite figures to get. One other thing, again, is talking about the abilities. There were 18 common abilities, things like diving, jumping, jump being one of them, acrobatics, so on and so forth. Then 34 uncommon abilities, like I said, like doing magic or heat vision, freeze breath. Aquaman has, water spout off of his thing. And then there were very unique abilities. Certain unique abilities like Doctor Who's time traveling, of which you came with the TARDIS.
That's awesome.
Yep. Now, here's the thing. During your gameplay, you were able to upgrade all of your accessory figures. So inside, if I pop off one of the sides of the TARDIS that I could actually get into, there are other pieces inside that you can transform the TARDIS into an upgraded this or an upgraded that. That's cool if you wanted them for your shelves. For me, I kept my figures as is because if I wanted the TARDIS, I wanted the TARDIS. There's a second, and it did also come with other accessories and other pieces, so you could build out what it could be. The thing is with that is that it didn't really matter. All you had to do was go to a build location, and you could still change that accessory. So you could get the TARDIS level 3, ability because sometimes, say, nope, wrong one. You needed the Batmobile, which came in your starter set, right? The Batmobile in Form 1 was able to do X, Y, and Z. In Form 2 could do A, B, and C. In Form 3 it could do X, Z, and A.
Okay.
So that's why having all these other figures came in handy. One thing that we did is, obviously I wasn't a completionist when it came to this game. Not mentioning I wasn't Skylanders either, even though I have more. Is that we pretty much we had a spreadsheet going, and we had to figure out, okay, this is a Sonic ability. This is how do you get to this level pack? How do you do this? Once you purchased a character from that particular world, you were able to access that world, whether it was the fun pack, the story pack, or the level pack. So for, let's say, example, Sonic, right? Sonic was his own character and level pack at the same time. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to get Tails, I'll get Sonic as opposed to it. So we meticulously figured out, and I also needed this ability, so on and so forth. Some characters had 4 abilities. Some of them were like completely OP and had 13 abilities. The girl Ghostbusters is a prime example. They could do things as like, catching ghosts and so on and so forth. You had to get a Ghostbuster character to go. Did I leave? No, I didn't leave the Ghostbuster out. You had to take Peter Venkman and put it in the Scooby-Doo world to catch a ghost. Zoinks.
That's awesome though. I like that crossplay. That's cool.
Exactly. That's the toyetic ability of what LEGO Dimensions was able to do. Some of the other things were, some of these figures were just so great. Like if you got the Goonies set, you got to build.
I've got that one. That's the only one I have.
You got to build the organ. And again, there's 3 different ways you can build this.
Yeah.
For everything else that it can do. I think it might have been a spider or all kinds of stuff. And then this is one of the unique things. Like anybody want to guess? Any child of the 80s want to guess what this is from?
Is that Batman's phone?
Nope.
Is that the bat? No.
Be good.
Okay. E.T. phone home.
This is E.T.'s phone home. I'm sorry, Michael.
Knight Rider. You gotta have that kit.
And then one of the best ones I absolutely loved was this. It was so out of left field. And this was in the first original game. This was the Midway Games. Now, this wasn't an obvious character. Like, I think it's called Midway Boy or whatnot. But it had you had a whole freaking arcade cabinet that would, travel around with you. And then this arcade cabinet would plug into certain spaces in the game. And you had to play like a mini game to unlock something. Or it was if anybody played, like, say, any of the DC superheroes, it was more like a tech-based character. So you use this to unlock that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, LEGO Dimensions was fun. I gotta say, I gotta give them credit. I think I still have 2 whole sets I've never even opened. I know one of them is Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Okay.
My only gripe was the portal, dimension, gate, whatever the heck it was called. This is the original that I had for my set from PlayStation 3. You can build up the whole portal and everything, which was on our first slide, and that's your background. Cool, awesome. Guess what? This is one of the few times I wish LEGO would have given me a LEGO thing that I didn't have to build, because I could have just told the game that I built this and still play. The other thing is, at the time, I was 30 some odd years old. This is completely interactive.
Yeah.
Okay, so during your gameplay, let's say you had to figure out a color puzzle. Colors would pop up because there were different LEDs in here, and you had to make yourself purple. Oh, well, you've got, your character, and you could only have a certain amount of figures on at a time that it could read. So like either 2 characters or 3 characters and 1 accessory, or vice versa. But let's say you had to make purple. Well, 1 was lit up red, 1 was lit up blue, and 1 was lit up yellow. Well, here's my lazy ass sitting on the couch. Now I got to get up, walk over, pick up Gandalf, and go, okay, put him back on. Now he's blue Gandalf. Now I'm going to pick him up, and I got to move Batman over here. And he hasn't gotten color, but because it's the first time I'm going to put him on here. And then the space would turn purple. And then you could walk Gandalf over and unlock the color puzzle gate.
Yeah.
No
bueno.
No bueno. No bueno at all. But it was so much fun, and honest
Yeah.
to God, having some of these figures out, and now that I have my PlayStation back out, my PS3 out, I might just hook this back up.
All right.
Maybe finish some things. Also, we made sure to drop in the Doctor for Matt because that was one of the few figures that he had as well at the time. What was cool is with the Doctor, you could change the Doctor itself. You could be all 12 incarnations. You just had to
Okay.
roll
That's
around.
cool.
And what's even better is if you had the TARDIS out and you had the Doctor, and you did roll through all the incarnations, once you walked in the TARDIS, even the desktop changed.
Wow. No
So
way.
you got everybody's TARDIS, including the great Eighth Doctor's TARDIS.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work.
Was great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. One other thing that I joked about is, with Wild Style coming out of the Lego movie,
Mhm.
when you guys watched the Lego movie 2, and how did that ending happen? And this figure and that figure should have. All I'm saying is that Warner Brothers was keeping on their licenses from a lot of the Lego Dimensions figures. I leaned over him and I said, "You do realize those are guys in my game, right?" Yeah, they are. But yeah, here's the other problem was if you're a game completionist, every single time you added a new character, you added a new figure, and you unlocked a whole new world, your trophies and achievements went from here to, and then, so if you're someone like me who's needed all the abilities, it is a Sisyphean task to try and complete this game like Hundo it. I haven't tried. I don't want to try. I ain't gonna try.
No, I wouldn't even try. Nope.
But yeah, it's a great game. It's fun, just like any other Lego game. It has immense replayability. 100 of replayability, no. So, see, you had a figure or two. That's why I had Benny and I can't find my pants laughing at you. It's easier to find your pants than it is to 100% this game.
Pants?
Exactly. And I do have actually.
You got them.
But it was fun. See, now look, this is a Lego that has a boopable nose, and I like that one.
Aw.
And I believe this was Sonic even before they made the Sonic sets, the more recent Sonic
It
sets.
is, yeah.
Yep. Other figures that weren't redone were like the Powerpuff Girls. Back to the Future, I believe we did with one of the DeLorean sets. I think we got Marty McFly with that.
Yeah.
Who else? Wizard of Oz was redone. Kit and Knight Rider was its own original. Gremlins was its own original figure.
Man, some great IPs there.
There's some amazing IPs. I mean, we eventually did get Scooby-Doo. Doctor Who, we only got a few sets from right around that time, and I don't know why they never kept up on it.
I remember seeing the A-Team too, B.A. Baracus.
Yep, B.A. Baracus, got him. He's a character with a unique ability of his own, his specific one. He has a building ability for specific, hey, this is an A-Team thing that, you just want to stop and because he's the only person that can build it. You could have friggin' Oliver Queen or Batman, some of the smartest guys, in the DC universe. They can't build it. B.A. Baracus coming through. I pity the fool. That's what I loved about this game. Jurassic World had a good one. You remember the orb things that they had in Jurassic World?
Yes.
Okay, so that had its own specific ability too. There were these sphere-like things, and for those of you who are old, that very much remind you of American Gladiators.
Yes.
You had to roll onto a platform and spin it like a freaking hamster ball to open up another hidden path. The interesting thing is that everything for the game was already preloaded in the game. You needed this tag to unlock it.
I bet were there guys just selling like the chip?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't put it in here. Sorry, reverse camera, folks.
Okay.
We'll get to that. I do have some of those figures myself, bought off of certain sites. But yeah, let's talk about other figures. We are talking about Amiibo.
Amiibo.
It's the only one that still exists from the early times. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yep. Now you have, believe it or not, that's one of the few figures I don't have from the Mario line. I didn't realize this. I didn't have it.
I had to have Mario and Luigi. Those were like, you got to have them.
So if you look over here off my shoulder, sorry, I'm going to steal the camera again.
You're good.
If you look off here, I have most of the Mario line, not counting regular Mario.
Yeah.
Just because I love Mario and I liked the aesthetic of those now versus say the Smash Brothers. The Smash Brothers ones look more like Smash Brother characters.
Right.
They didn't have that fun cartoony design. So let's talk about Amiibo. Now, since Amiibo has started, there are over 200 figures and over 500 Amiibo cards have been released.
Good Lord.
The majority of the Amiibo cards are for Animal Crossing. There have been Mario and Sonic Superstars. I forget if it was one of the Olympic games or if it was a sports game or whatnot that you could get other Amiibo cards. So if you take a look down there, you'll notice the primary, a lot of these have, so if we take a look at, say, Ness and Donkey Kong or Splatoon. Well, Splatoon's not a good one. But if you take a look, a lot of these bases on here have these black bases. Except if you look at the Animal Crossing ones, those have brown bases. Now, not that these aren't interchangeable. They're just telling you exactly what series they're from primarily. Now, the Splatoon ones are actually from the Splatoon series, so they're not going to work, say, like a Smash Brothers character. You can use it as such, but you're not going to be throwing Tom Nook into Smash. You know, if you see the blue yarn Yoshi towards the front, next to its right is, or to its left, our right, is the Smash Brothers Mario. I didn't want that. I wanted the nice, fun Mario. You know, so that was kind of fun, like the sculpt and the build, and I love the yarn Yoshis. Yeah, it's all good, and I still collect them. Like I'm missing just the Diddy Kong, and
this is one of those things I wish I collected more of. Like I wish I had stayed on top of it because I really love them. We've got a lot of Kirby ones, and we've got Mario Brothers, but I wish I had done more with Zelda and Donkey Kong and all of them. I just let them go by, I guess. I may retroactively start collecting some of these.
And go for it, man. There's so many figures out there. Go for it.
Yeah.
Now, originally introduced in 1914, I don't know why. It's that New Year's thing, you know.
It's right there. That's that guy.
Yep, I think I got mine. Here, look. We'll hold ours up both for Cat. There you go, Cat.
For Cat.
There you go, for Cat.
Boy.
The only reason I got it because it was adorable, and I think it unlocked something in one of my other games. The original functionality of Smash Brothers was to be saved for player information. So do I even have a Smash? Yeah, I've got 2 Smash style figures. Obviously, one of them being Mega Man, the super fighting robot, and then Sonic. Got to go fast because he was one of the first non-Nintendo characters that they made. The first real IP character that was made by the Amiibos was Shovel Knight. It was completely a third-party one, considering Sega at that time had such a great relationship with Nintendo. There have been, so it was pretty much working like a save card or a save file that you could upload your player information onto. So when you went over your buddy's house, like, hey, this is my particular build for Smash Brothers. Now I'm going to come over and, take you out. So that was the original functionality. And then more characters that came out were used in the series to unlock basic items, costumes, and even exclusive items. Now, you were talking about, say, the Zelda series, is why I put this up here first. On the next panel, you're going to see exactly what different Zelda characters offered to so on and so forth. The Mario series really helped unlock a lot of things. Like if you played Mario Odyssey, you got a few different costumes and so on. Splatoon is its own whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. I never could get into Splatoon. I don't speak. I can't do it. But there have been so many redecos, art decos, resculpts, and they all pretty much do one or two things. You either get some new items or you get the little concerts from the Harajuku style girls.
My oldest son, big fan of that, actually reads the manga. There's a manga.
Yeah. It's a whole vibe. Sorry, I'm going to be the old curmudgeon. It's a whole thing. You kids and your Splatoons and your Octagirls and the Inklings and
Yep, exactly. I'm like, cool, man. uh, uh,
There you go. That's for your kid.
uh.
And then the Kirby series was just a few figures. There was Meta Knight, which I believe is more of a Smash Brothers figures. If you take a look on there,
Yeah, it is.
no, he is not. He
Oh wait,
has a
no, he's
blue
blue.
base.
Yeah,
That
he's
is a
blue.
Kirby. That is
Yeah.
a Kirby line. That is the one that I don't have that I want.
Oh yeah, a little
Yeah,
Waddle Dee action there.
yep, Waddle Dee and then D.
Yep, D. He is Smash.
Yep. So they unlocked all kinds of things. And speaking of which, let's take a look at some of the games and what you could get for what. Now, this is the most recent, I believe.
Ooh.
Nope. This is the first. This is Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A lot of that stuff
Breath of the
is
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yep. So this is from Breath of the Wild. Now, if you take a look as you put your figures on, depending on which one you had, regular Link would give you, you would always get a different carpet. Why am I saying carpet? You get a different skin for your glider. And then you would possibly get out of other characters the costume pieces. Also, your riding characters, you could eventually get Epona, the horse of legend, which is great because when you pulled up to the stables, it would say, "Oh my God, it's Epona, the horse of legend," which was fun.
Yeah.
Taking a look down, you see how we've got the one from Majora's Mask. You get the Fierce Deity sword and the Fierce Deity set. A lot of these things also became unlockable in the game, with the exception of some of these weapons specifically.
Yeah.
The white sword being one. The different masks that you could get from the four Guardians, you could pick up in game, but trust me, being a level 1 and just walking around with complete electric resistance was kind of awesome. Just gonna walk into Gerudo Town going, yeah, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's storming today. That was fun. Sheik, you could get obviously the Sheik costume, the Sheik mask, or the shield there. Ganondorf, Wolflink. Now, Wolflink was fun because, it doesn't show it on here, but when you did Wolflink and you didn't, and after you already had the glider skin, you would get meat. You would get a ton of
That's
meat.
awesome.
Like a ridiculous amount. Now, what was really cool is that you could do other amiibo in this game. So if you put in Mario, guess what you get? Random items.
Yeah.
So it came in handy, like, hey, you really don't want to do the grind, or hey, you're not very good at the game, or because it was such a different game at the time for Zelda games and you wanted that little bit of extra, you could do that. This also followed over 2 Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, with the new figures that came out with that, there were also some more things. I personally didn't get any simply for the fact that I didn't think that the new figures were great, but the new things that you would drop were all in-game stuff. So it's like,
right.
That comes down to my old, why do I need to get a second figure when the first one works just fine?
Yeah, exactly.
Hence that's my Skylander rule.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
More to come.
Yep. Mario Kart. If you're the type who likes, if you don't want to play as Yoshi being balanced, or the baby characters that are super tiny, or Bowser because you really want that heavy, hard swing, and you played with the Mii characters like I do, typically win, you could unlock all these different costumes. I think that's really the big reason I got Mega Man, because I just wanted to play as Mega Man.
That's good.
Courses. These are all fun. They do nothing to your gameplay except make you look good.
That sweet drip.
That was it. Yeah, that's right. That sweet drip.
I gotta get that Samus, man. I want to ride around as Samus. I gotta find me a Samus amiibo.
Yeah. Now here's the interesting thing. If you had the Mario line amiibo versus the Smash Brother Mario, it didn't matter. You were going to unlock the same exact suit. You're just going to read it as 001.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rarest amiibo that are out there currently. I can say for certainty one of these I have had in my possession at one time.
Didn't I see a yarn Yoshi back there somewhere? Or was it a different color?
This is a completely different Yoshi.
Okay.
So I do have yarn Yoshis. Okay. I only have 2 of the 3. I'm going
Yeah.
to hold these really far back because they have a lot of dust on them because they're yarn. But that is a Mega Yarn Yoshi. This was a 13-inch figure. Complete plush.
Oh,
You
wow.
can love it and squeeze it and call it George. And I'm still bitter at my wife for not letting me get it. Just
okay.
Don't worry, folks. I covered my mic. Other ones that we want to talk about is Quibi, which is up here. This was a Japan exclusive. Yeah, it's very odd. This was for a very specific game. Again, it was a Japan exclusive. The Splatoon redecos for Splatoon 2 apparently were very hard to get. I was working at GameStop at the time, and like we probably only got in a case every 2 or 3 months, and they'd sell out immediately. The Mii Fighters, wow, these would come and go so darn fast. Poochie, which also is from the Yoshi Yarn stories.
Adorable, yeah.
Adorable. It has been re-released. I can tell you that it's been re-released 2 or 3 times now. It is still a very hard one to get, but it is absolutely adorable. Again, it was one of those, do I need the little thing that it does, or do I need it just because it's cute? So that's why I was like, do I need it or not? Yes. Gold Mega Man was from the Nintendo DS Mega Man Legacy 1 collection. That is the one that was in my house.
Oh, man.
I picked this up for a buddy of mine because it was a US exclusive and he lives in Canada.
That's the one. That's the one I want.
That's the one. And well, believe it or not, there also is a Mega Man 11 Nintendo Switch Mega Man, which is really sweet as well. And in that, there was also a Japan exclusive, like 24 gold ones, not 24 karat, just 24 gold random chases. Joker from, I think that was the Fire Emblem series, is also. And then the last one on there looks like he's one of the knights that go, dee, but he is from the Dark Souls franchise. Yeah, that's Mega Yarn Yoshi. And I remember getting into it at my wife at Toys R Us when that was still a thing. Going, I want it. The store is freaking closing. What is the point? I want it. The store is closing. It is not going to be here next week. It's $9.
Oh man!
You know, it was just fun. I like my Amiibos. I like my Mario line Amiibos. That's what I'm sticking with. That's what I know.
For sure.
And then here's the big thing. Because Amiibos are so expensive, there once was a story in 2015 that when Splatoon 2 came out, this would have been... Thank you, Kat. Joker is from Persona. I apologize. I know it's from the Smash Brothers line, and I never could get Persona and Fire Emblem and all those anime-style ones confused because they're all the same to me. Hello, you kids and your curmudgeons.
Hey, you better be careful, man.
I don't know. What's the difference between any character in Sky? You know what? I don't know. Anyway, back to the story. So, in the UK back in 2015, the Wii U, or I believe it might have been the DS, it was the Nintendo starter pack, came with this green squidling. A whole truckload was stolen. Over $10,000 worth of product was stolen. It was the only truck in the UK. No one ever knew who got it.
Awesome.
Yep.
I love nice stories. I hope they make a movie about this one day.
No. And if it was, it'd be made for TV. So, I mean, kudos to the person that got it, and kudos for not getting caught, simply for the fact that you had all of the stock in the UK, so you couldn't like, oh, look, all these figures are showing up on eBay all at once. You literally had to go drip.
Yeah.
Drip. Drip. So if you own one of these figures in the UK, you might have one of the ones from that particular truck. Just saying. Thank you, Kat. Do a barrel roll. Now, lastly, you know, I think nowadays the Gold Mario, One, I think that Amiibo nowadays is the gold standard for what Toys to Life can be. They have endured almost for what, 10 years now.
Yeah.
They're still doing their thing with over 200 figures, 500 some odd cards. But let's talk about Gold Mario for a second. Do you know the story behind Gold Mario?
No, I don't think I do.
This is a Walmart exclusive. Okay?
Awesome.
Not only is it a Walmart exclusive, they never knew when they were getting it in because the UPC/SKU is the exact same as a regular Mario that you have in your hand right now.
So it's a chase.
It is a chase of a chase of a chase.
Oh, man.
Okay? Here we go. I'm going back here. Everybody's going to be mad at me because I'm going to do this and you haven't seen it on screen yet.
Uh-oh.
I have one out of box.
And
I have one in box signed by Charles Martinet.
let's go!
In gold.
Woohoo!
You're the best. Thank you so much for playing my game. And it is signed to my wife and I. We got this done a long time ago. I gotta say, I completely played the system on this one.
Okay.
When I knew Gold Mario was coming out, I was working at a late night restaurant chain. And my shift got done at 2 a.m. And at that time, Walmarts were open 24 hours a day. Every single night when I was done, I would walk across the street to Walmart. I would go back there and I would see if they were in. This came in one. They were only allocated one case of Gold Marios per store. One case is 12 figures. I had 4 of them. Now the question is, what did Tom do with the other 2?
Gave them to friends.
One, you're right. The other one I did sell online.
Okay.
I did have 2 other ones. And again, folks, this is, like we've heard on other websites and so on, save one for the next guy. I can say with a clean conscience that the other 2 Gold Marios that I had, I sold at cost.
What a nice guy.
I might have made a little bit of profit on the one I did on eBay, like maybe $10.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't going to make it a Dutch that, you had to give me $90 just for me to send this to you. And then I'm going to charge another $20 for crappy shipping.
Yeah.
No. I had one friend who wanted it that I sold it to him at cost, exactly what I paid for at the store. And the other one might have made just the tiniest bit of profit. So these to me are the gold standard. And unfortunately, because they're skewed just like the one you have.
Yeah.
They don't do much in any other game except still read as 001.
Right.
You can't put this in Mario Kart 8 and automatically get Gold Mario. You got to do the grind to get Gold Mario.
You got to get all the gold cups.
Now, again, we're just going to use this as a teaser because I really want to hear. Oh, yep, not surprised that Walmart had this Mario Amiibo. Yeah. We're going to talk about real quick, because we're talking about Amiibo, we're going to talk about the term and the characters called the Sky Amiibos. Okay. These are Skylanders that were also Amiibos.
Okay.
All right. These are specifically made for Skylanders Superchargers. All right. And these are the only figures in all of Toys to Life that work for both systems.
Huh.
Because there's 2 separate chips inside.
Those got to be pretty rare too, right?
So this is the dark variant of version, which was Target exclusive, because Skylanders was doing that you could go to certain retailers and get the dark starter set. Again, it's all going to be done in an episode that we do for this. But what was sucked is that, yes, you got Bowser and you got DK with the Barrel Blaster and the Bowser plane or whatever. But you couldn't use these outside of the Wii U version. Because marketing and merchandising.
Yeah.
The great thing about this is if you notice that on the base here, it has this little slot in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now this says Skylanders. Now it's an Amiibo.
Huh.
Skylander Amiibo. So you could use these as your Smash Amiibos. You could use these as your Mario Party Amiibos. I do think that Mario Party, the one that they had on Wii U, had the best integrated ability with Amiibo. You could actually put different characters in, get more pieces for your boards, especially when you had to do the customizable boards. And that's what comes down to one thing that was really smart of Skylanders, say Sky Amiibos. Yeah, no, they're great figures. You can still get them on secondary markets. One thing that Amiibo did smart versus Skylanders, and we'll just talk about this real quick, is there is a small piece of metal or whatnot in here, aluminum, that blocks the NFCs.
Okay.
So if you were somebody who wanted to cheat, and let's take your Skylander, right? And you wanted to buy it, take it home, scan it in just because you're a completionist, you could do that because there was no protection from anybody just going up, scanning it, and then taking it back to the store. Amiibos don't do that. You have a piece, there is a little, maybe you can see it down in there, that blocks that from the readers being able to read it. And yeah, don't forget Pikachu.
Pika-Pee.
You know, I bought my Amiibos the way I buy my other action figures. If it gives me personal joy, I'm going to get it.
Yes.
Do I have any use for Smash Brothers Pikachu?
No.
Do I want Pikachu because it's adorable?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I have Detective Pikachu out there? No, because my wife was being a pain in the butt. This is one of those collector's ones where I'm going off on my wife, but I still love her because she's So yeah, that I believe really is kind of the gold standards. Amiibos have been around for at least a decade. They're doing what they do. They do it well. I think that they could still integrate a little bit better to this day. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if it brings you joy, it brings you joy. Play with your figures. Take them out of the box. Or, you know, don't. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's all we got so far on the Toys to Life. When you guys want to do the whole Skylanders episode, I'm not kidding. I will go out. I'll get a capture card. I will whatever you need, just so I can prove. I'll take screenshots of of my collection.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I have over 300 figures, and every single new game I scanned in every single one. Back on the Off the Cuff channel, Off the Cuff Facebook page, if you can find it somewhere on Facebook, there is a whole live stream of me retiring my last figures.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you can find that in the QR code, which will apparently show up at some point. That on the Off the Cuff Facebook years ago, there is the retiring of the Imaginators. I only keep a few figures out now just for sentimental purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's everything we got going on tonight. What were some of your favorite characters? Thank you for letting me ramble and rant on about this tonight. This is something near and dear to me in my wheelhouse. You know, we did Sonic for Mickey, of which I still got to get that box out to you.
No rush.
That Skylanders episode needs to happen soon, as well as the one on Magic the Gathering. That's Cat, we'll do Magic the Gathering, but I really think we need to break it down into old school versus new school.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a very, very safe idea because what you know Magic and what I know Magic are
very different.
Dude, they don't even call mine Legacy anymore. Like I'm a 1.5 player. Put it that way.
Ditto.
Come at me, bro. Exactly. So again, if you have an opportunity, folks, make sure to see that QR code that's right over Mickey's head. Make sure to donate to all the wonderful people out there that are helping with the California wildfires. We want to make sure that we can try and take care of everybody else out there.
Please.
You got anything else, Mickey?
No, man. This was enlightening and fun.
Yeah. I got all the toys. with the clicky.
You got me wanting to buy some more Amiibos. Good job.
Go for it, man. Go for it. If anybody sees a Super Mario Diddy, all right, Diddy Kong, DM, slide my DMs, baby.
Okay.
All right. That is the one I'm missing from the Mario line. I'm not getting I could get the wedding figures from Odyssey, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't want those.
You know? But yeah, Diddy Kong is the only one that I'm missing still.
Okay.
All right. So thank you all so very much. On behalf of everybody at Nerd Initiative, we want to make sure that first and foremost, scan that QR code, help out where you can. Secondly, make sure you like, comment, you share, and you subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know. I'm kind of awkwardly waiting here to see if the graphic pops up.
don't think I have one for that.
Oh, I got it.
Where
I
is
know
it?
where it's at. It's in my folder. Because I got it
Oh.
right there. So make sure you come, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell for all the notifications. Tap that thumb ups to let the GEO Michael know that we're doing a good job over here. And of course, come back here for later this week. We've got a great Darkwing Duck interview tomorrow night, special time, 7 p.m.
That's
Wednesday,
right.
we've got all your great comic book reviews, more than likely over 30, because, no one does comic book reviews like the Nerd Initiative. Thursday, dropping in from the top rope, it's Rich and Ken and Nick, just Nick,
Just Nick.
with all the fantastic wrestling news going on. In the meantime, get the merch, subscribe to the website, follow us, all the other things. So many QR codes, because we here at Nerd Initiative love our QR codes.
That's what we do,
But
baby.
most importantly, when you're here with us on Monday night, and make sure that when you play
For keeps.